So anyway, there's 3 measurements that you take on this to make sure that the oil pump is good. Again, even though I'm confident that it is, I'm going to take them anyway. So the first measurement that I'll do is between the outer rotor and the body of the pump. So I'll take this apart real quick to show you. So you have the inner rotor, which is on the shaft, which is what connects to the distributor here, and I hope you can see this because can't see the camera face. And then you have the inner rotor, or excuse me, this is the inner rotor in case I didn't mention that. And then you have the outer rotor, which is this guy right here, and that obviously goes in there as well. So that all fits together, and it's a positive displacement pump, gear-driven positive displacement, or geared positive displacement pump. So it just spins, and as that spins with the camshaft, which also spins the distributor, the oil gets trapped in between these lobes. There's ports or paths inside the body here, and as the oil comes to fill that void right there, if you keep an eye on that one right there, you can see as that lobe comes down, it would squish the oil, and then underneath of this you would see the port, and eventually when it comes down to that port, it would squish the oil and push it through, the same way as it would allow oil to then open up this hole and fall in. And essentially it's a gravity into the pump, or excuse me, it's a suction into the pump and pushes it up and out, and it just sits there and spins with the speed of the motor. So the important measurements on this is the clearance between the body and the outer rotor, between the outer rotor and the inner rotor, and then between the cover, which I don't have in the camera shot, but the cover and the thing itself. And it's just to keep everything tight, since it is a positive displacement pump. You don't want leakage. So essentially, I'll start with the body to the outer rotor measurement, and the workshop manual has got to be no greater than 0.008 or 0.008 of an inch. So I'm going to grab my 0.008 of an inch here. That guy right there, 0.008 of an inch, stick that in, and that's not going in there anywhere around at all. So I'll go all the way down to, cut that in half, go all the way down to 0.004 of an inch. See if that guy goes in. No, he's not going in. Go down to 0.002 of an inch. And there we go. So about 0.002 of an inch, give or take. So that's definitely good. And then the spec in between the inner rotor and the outer rotor, the way to set that up is you want to take the measurement right when they meet. So looking at the workshop manual, it's not an incredibly clear picture, but I'm going to take it when this lobe and these lobes are essentially centered up. And the spec for this is it's got to be no greater than 10 thousandths. So again, I'm going to start with the 2 thousandths, because that's a pretty small gap in there. I don't even think I'm going to be able to get that guy in there. No, not really. And I don't, the only thing I have smaller than that is 1.5 thousandths. I don't think I'm going to get that. Just barely, not even really. So that's definitely in spec, and it still turns, so I know it's obviously not, it's not binding as it turns, so that one's good. The last spec is the, like I said, the distance between your body and the pump itself there. This one's a little weird. In the workshop manual, it's not a straight up measurement. What it tells you is, in the engine dimensions, it gives you rotor depths for the inner and the outer rotors, which are the same, and then it gives you the clearances in inches, and essentially it's 1.7 thousandths to 6.6 thousandths. So here's my 1.5 thousandths. You just need a flat edge, put that guy on there, try to sneak that through, and that's obviously good there. And you can't go greater than 6 thousandths. And that's not going under, so that's good. Alright, so this oil pump is good. ready to go back in.
So now really I'm just putting the oil pump body itself in. There's only one way the bolts can go in, so this is not a trick question here. Pre-lubricating everything just so it's ease of assembly. Main lobe goes in and the interior lobe. The cap goes on. There's a couple different types of oil pumps you can get. None of them are original to the Mark 1, which is what motor this is, even though I have a Mark 2 car. The pickup screen on the older ones or on the oil pan, on the newer ones are on the oil pump. So this is the person that had it before me took the oil screen off the pickup of the pump, and I have it on the oil pan. Just torquing everything down here, coming around. Not again, not that difficult to do here. Now I've got the oil pressure relief valve. Just screwing that in. I bought all new hardware here, including the copper gasket, just so I was sure. Now putting the gasket down for the oil pan. Everything's lined up. Again, you've got that front sealing block there, so you got to be careful of that when you bolt this guy down, because those are easy bolts to strip out, just like the timing cover is as well. So those two most bolts in the center there are into that front sealing pan or front sealing block, and you just have to be careful when tightening them down that you don't strip those out, because the metal is not incredibly strong. It's aluminum or something like that. Just going around getting all the bolts in. Not too difficult to do here. Getting everything finger tight, and then I'm just going to work my way around slowly but surely, getting everything tightened up and snugged and everything, and then torque to the appropriate torque. And then the last thing to do here is to put the oil plug in. You wouldn't want to forget that, and fill a car with oil for the first time and spill it all over the floor. So that's about it. Cheers.